Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today, and today we're going to be talking about some of the most recent news in the NBA today. As today was announced by Bleacher Report and The Athletic that there are three teams that are interested in Heat shooting guard / small forward Max Strus: the Indiana Pacers, the Orlando Magic, and the Detroit Pistons. And we're going to be talking about a potential signing for the Detroit Pistons to land Max Strus in free agency, as the Pistons are looking to improve their roster this offseason. They're a team I view as, as some of the teams that were very bad last year and have the chance to improve their roster. The Orlando Magic, the Detroit Pistons, the Houston Rockets, and maybe you can include the Indiana Pacers on that list as well. All four of those teams I've just listed have all made great selections in the draft. The Pacers got Jerice Walker. Rockets got Amen Thompson and Cam Whitmore, which I think the Rockets, even though the Spurs got Wemby, I thought the Rockets won the draft, and not biased as a Rockets fan. So Pacers got Walker, Rockets got Amen and Cam Whitmore, and then Pistons got Asar Thompson and also Marcus Sasser, who, as a Houston Cougars fan, this guy's a baller. The Magic got Anthony Black and Jett Howard. All four of those teams I just listed right there did absolutely amazing in the draft. Those are teams that struggled massively last season. Now, here's something also all four of these teams that were very bad last year have in common. All four of these teams have a lot of cap space to spend. Now the Rockets, it's more than all these teams. It's having the chance to spend $60 million of cap space in free agency this year. But all four of these teams have cap space to spend. So you look at some of the teams that were bad last year. All these teams have a chance to improve. Not only that, all four of these teams have trade pieces as well, and that's what I'm going to get to the Pistons coming up right here. The Pistons, they have trade pieces. They just exercised team option for Alec Burks. He's going to be a big trade piece for them. So is Bojan Bogdanovic, who had an outstanding season for the Pistons last year. I think there's a chance they maybe try to move Marvin Bagley. I know for sure they're going to try to move Killian Hayes. They have trade assets. They did well in the draft. They have cap space. The Pistons, and not only that, they added in Monty Williams as their head coach. So I really do think that the Pistons, I think they have a chance to be way better than they were last season. They're getting Cade Cunningham back, Jaden Ivey. I think he'll have a great second year. Same thing for Jalen Duren. You bring into the fact that they have trade assets and cap space to spend. I think Detroit is a team that's going to be way better than they were this season. They were the worst team in the NBA, if not the worst, one of the worst teams in basketball this year. So, in my opinion, Detroit's going to be way better than they were this year. Especially adding in Monty Williams to improve a team that's young and is going to be improving from free agency and the trade market. I really like what Detroit is bringing on this season. And now we're going to get into Max Strus and the potential signing for the Detroit Pistons to sign Strus, as he had a great playoff run for the Heat. Was usually a starter for the Heat throughout their playoff run. And I don't have his stats for the playoffs. I forgot to look that up, but I'm going to go over his stats throughout the regular season. Averaged 11.5 points per game with 4 rebounds per game and 3 assists per game for the Heat. Shot 35% from 3 this season with the Heat and made almost 200 3-point attempts, which the Pistons as a team last year struggled massively from three-point shooting. They were a terrible 3-point shooting team. That's another reason I would really like this signing for the Detroit Pistons, just because I just feel like Max Strus, him going there, I just feel like, his shooting provides great shooting in his, he provides veteran experience, because there's not a lot of players on that Pistons roster that have experience with playing in the playoffs. It's a young roster all around. You got guys like Asar Thompson, Marcus Sasser, Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren. If you view as like their roster, how many the only guys that really played in the playoffs that on their roster, guys like Alec Burks and Bojan Bogdanovic, and like they're on their way out. Unless you want to count James Wiseman, who, yes, he won an NBA championship, but sitting on a sideline, didn't even do anything on that Warriors championship run. So, in my opinion, I feel like James Wiseman doesn't count himself, so they don't have a lot of playoff experience. I think the Pistons, with Monty Williams as their head coach, are going to lean towards of maybe trying to make the playoff. I don't think their expectation is to make the playoffs next season, but I think they're going to damn well try to make the playoffs next season. I see Detroit. I see the Pistons probably expectation is to make it into the play-in tournament, and then after making it into the play-in tournament, then the next goal is to make it into the playoffs. But if you build a good team around their young guys like Cade, Ivy, Asar, Jalen Duren, and then make some other nice trade pieces and make some good moves in free agency, and you build a good team around those young guys and Monty Williams as their head coach, I don't see why the Pistons can't have a chance to make it into the play-in tournament or even the playoffs. I think both the Magic and Pistons, who have been two of the worst teams in the Eastern Conference over the last several years in the NBA, both have a solid chance. Both teams, I think, in my opinion, both teams have a really solid chance of making it into the play-in tournament next season. And we'll see what happens, though. I think both teams have a shot to make it into the play-in tournament, whether it's both or maybe only one gets in, because there is a lot of talent in the Eastern Conference, throughout, multiple teams. But this would be a great signing for the Pistons. Like I said, they need three-point shooting. They need veteran and playoff experience. And even though Strus is still very young at 27 years old, this is a young Pistons roster. They don't have a lot of older guys besides Bogdanovic and Alec Burks. And like I said, those guys, two guys like that, they're on their way out. They're not. I don't think there is a chance maybe both of those guys stay for the Pistons. But I don't see I see them trading both of those guys. So, in my opinion, I think that this would be a great signing for the Pistons. I think everything fits. Honestly, not only do I think, we know the Pistons are interested in Max Strus, I think Max Strus would be really interested in signing with the Detroit Pistons. And I'm going to go on a full-on prediction here. I do think Max Strus will ultimately end up signing with the Detroit Pistons. That's where I think he will end up going. You guys have more thoughts on the potential signing? That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out.